people don't understand what I'm going through. It's not my fault I can't hear properly.
In fact, it's not their impairment that makes them disabled. Rather, it is the inadequate services and the lack of support from the society that disable them.
Social model basically says we are people with impairments, and those impairments clearly have an impact on how we live our lives. But the impairments are not the things which disable us.
I'm disabled by the world around me, and if the world was more accessible, I would be less disabled, and then I would just be left with my impairment, i.e. what doesn't work. It's not that my legs don't work that's disabling me, it's the fact that if I want to, if I'm on a flat surface, I can wheel around fine, I'm wonderfully happy. It's only when I come up to a flight of stairs.
In most developed countries, people with disabilities have fought and protested to get their rights, which is to have the same life standard and living conditions as others do.
It is a civil right to be independent in America.
United States, for example, responded to these movements by passing the Americans with Disability Act in 1990, as well as UK by passing the Disability Discrimination Act in 1995. These strong actions have changed the life of people with disabilities in many ways, especially in the tourism sector. Nowadays, many people with disabilities are traveling freely, which this led to a formation of accessible tourism. Accessible tourism defined as enabling people with access requirement to function independently with equity and dignity through delivery of universal designed tourism products, services, and environment. The first and most important reason is because traveling considered as a basic human right to people with disabilities. Secondly, the accessible market is a fast-growing, and it's considered as a valuable market to the tourism industry. In order to make accessible tourism happen, some basic elements have to be put into place, such as information, transportation, and accommodation. There are many successful practices that have been implemented already. For example, Accessible Sydney, which is an application on electronic devices, is designed to provide comprehensive information about the availability and location of accessible venues as well as facilities in Sydney. In terms of transportation, Qantas has an advanced assistive technology application that enables people with different disabilities connect to the web by hands-free movement tracking system, page reader system, and voice recognition, which makes the booking process easier for them. As for accommodation, Hilton provides comprehensive facilities and services, such as accessible parking, roll-in shower, and visual alarm. People with disabilities have diverse interests in tourism as other travelers. Most commonly, people with disabilities will travel to engage with natural-based activities and to visit historical sites as well as museums.
Welcome to the Houses of Parliament, the very heart of British democracy. These are historic buildings, and it would be easy to think with some parts of the Palace of Westminster dating back to 1097 that disabled access was non-existent. But I'm happy to say that there's been lots of work done to make sure that these important buildings are open for everyone, because access needs to be democratic. And what's more, there's the Houses of Parliament Visitor Services team who are committed to making your experience as smooth and as comfortable as possible. They've produced a series of video access guides to help you plan ahead for your visit. The Houses of Parliament look forward to welcoming you.
You may get surprised if we say that they are into adventure tourism as well.
Kareem Ladki is the owner and co-founder of 9 Lives Adventures, a new tourism company that provides exciting opportunities for people with physical disabilities. After watching the 2010 Vancouver Paralympic Games and recovering from his own spinal cord injury in 2007, Kareem developed a strong admiration for those living with disabilities. This inspiration drove him to start an awareness tour documenting the challenges that disabled adventure seekers face. The response was enough to turn this desire into a full business operation he named 9 Lives Adventures, which is aimed at breaking down barriers for people in wheelchairs and people with other physical challenges.
At the end, now you have a great picture about accessible tourism and about what Accessible Market would like to do. It's your turn as a future tourism organizer, a manager, or whatever to consider this market seriously and to provide them with the best services. Not only to make a profit, but to give these people their right to live freely as you do.